Well.
Sure, sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Club. And of course, thank you, Rahul Kaushik, for joining us this evening. And Sandeep Ghosh, our birthday boy, joining us all the way from London, where he's gone on an impromptu holiday to celebrate his birthday. I wish we all had such fancy lives.
Ours is
Sandeep,
not
you're not
fancy.
saying anything?
Well,
I'm shocked.
no. I have been on exile, self-imposed exile all these years. So now I'm doing a little bit of revenge travel, and that too will, get over soon, I guess, and get back to state life. And if all of you, as you're conspiring in 2024, if there is a change of regime, then people like us will be, we don't know where we will be. And that's the kind of signals and threats which people have been getting, that your time is going to run out soon. So that's the reason one trying to make the most of the last few months or weeks
Are you getting threats
while it
also?
lasts. Not threats, but real indication that चलो बच्चे तुम्हारा
apprehensions.
टाइम नहीं तुम्हारा टाइम अभी खत्म होने वाला है. Just as soon as, for example, this list of 10 or 14 came out, there's only 10 or 14 तो सिर्फ झांकी है, बाकी नाम तो अभी बाकी है, type of a thing.
But they're not journalists, no.
No, no,
No,
this
it's
is not
not
a
necessary.
journalist.
Last time
See,
also, when
like,
the list came in 2012, the blocking list, it did have many other than journalists also. Like Ankit was there, Tejinder was there, I was there in some way. The famous IT Act list in 2012.
see, this is like a part of the cancel culture. So if they choose to cancel you, they will try and cancel you from anywhere and everywhere in life. Who knows? One it will not be able to buy air tickets also at that time. You'll be denied.
Oh, well, he's gone. So he'll be back, I'm sure. I guess London doesn't have as good of an internet connection as we have in India. So
Any day.
any day, oh, he's back again. So he is certainly being persistent on his birthday. Yes, you're back.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't log on to the Wi-Fi. I was trying to do with my normal phone. So go ahead, tell me what's happening. What happened in the
Well, I mean,
all-party meeting?
first of all, birthday wishes to Prime Minister Modi as well, who you share your birthday with. And he's had, of course, a very busy birthday, and he's been riding the metro and inaugurating things. So it's essentially a working day for him, as can be expected. But
Same for all we Virgoans. We have to work all through. We just can't. Same here. What do you think I've been doing? Also riding metros. Moving around, walking the streets, meeting people, talking to them. And the rest of it comes with the
walking
territory
the
or the
streets and
birth
talking to
side.
people, you better be careful. Like you shouldn't get arrested. Well, better be careful, yeah. Professor's here, and Pallavi is going to join us at about 7:10 because she has a live for her channel. So that's going to happen a little later. Welcome, Professor.
Many
And
happy returns of the day. 69, Suhail informs us.
oh
73
no,
actually, 73rd actually. He understated it by 4 years. Concession he gave me.
70, you look pretty good for 74.
Sev- 73rd.
My God.
he's trying to copy Prime Minister Modi. He's not 70.
I was also wondering, actually, you don't look at all 70 plus.
This
He's 60
I'm
plus,
just
not 70 plus.
I'm just
No, he's
putting all the wishes at the Prime Minister's lotus feet. Everything that I'm getting, I say he deserves the wishes much more. The country needs him much more than they need, petty mortals like me. We need him more for us. So all the wishes that's coming my way, I'm putting it on his lotus feet. That's genuinely.
well. Okay,
That's
and
why
of
the
course,
73rd.
congratulations to India for a rollicking win today. I mean, I don't watch cricket, but today was just incredible. I think they could turn me into a cricket watcher. This is how they performed. Siraj was just mind blowing. So huge congratulations. And the World Cup's coming up, of course. And we're fortunate at the Sunday Club that it got over so early, so people are joining our show. Otherwise, we're always competing with cricket at this time, and we will certainly during the World Cup. So let's go. Rahul, let's start with you. This special session, although there's no constitutional word called special, but the last time when we had one was in 2017 when GST was rolled out, and that was major. This time around, whatever agenda the government has put forward, which is a discussion on the 75 years of parliament, moving to the new parliament on the 19th, plus some bills about the selection of the CEC, something to do with periodicals and press, some legislative bills. Nothing seems to really stand out in terms of in the way like the GST did.
See, first of all, I would like to say that I am very happy for the MPs. At least they will now find a good place to sit. They used to sit in the parliament like एकदम दब के और जो भी नया आता था तो they yesterday one of my friends was telling me कि it was like very common that when the MPs were sitting there and one new guy used to come so they all used to be very disappointed कि यार अब इसको भी adjust करना पड़ेगा इतनी सीट में घुसे तो I'm actually very happy for the MPs and the ministers that they now have ample space to sit at least in the houses. Plus, I have got to know that ministers and all have got very swanky offices, new offices, big offices inside the parliament building. One of the aides of a senior minister was telling me yesterday. So they have got very good facilities and offices. So I'm really happy for our representatives. At least now they have good space to sit. In addition to that, I believe having a new parliament building in itself is a very special occasion. And it's as big as GST or as big as anything else. If I remember correctly, the joint sitting of parliament, which some of the journalists are anticipating will happen this time also, last happened for an occasion, if I can remember correctly, I was like very young then, for passing the Pota bill in 2001 or 2 probably. After that, except that the celebratory joint sitting every year for the president's address, no joint sitting has also happened. So I think it's a momentous occasion. We should all look forward to see what all the government has in its agenda. And as far as the agenda thing is concerned, like we all know that unless the day 5 ends, there can be anything in the government's bag. You can never be very sure about it, what all they have in their bag, what all they have to present in the parliament. So let's pray that something good happens in the next 5 days and we are there for a pleasant shock, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, Sandeep, you're sitting in England right now. Are you tracking what's happening in Parliament, or you're walking the streets and talking to strangers like you?
No, I've been not tracking so much in Parliament, but I've been tracking the comments of what the opposition has been saying, especially a lot of them is trite and frivolous. Like one MP tweeted that, okay, I have cracked what's going to be discussed in the special session, and then we'll say exactly at noon tomorrow. And then at noon he tweeted that it's his birthday celebrations that's going to follow for 4 days and the rest of it.
God.
And then the Congress trying to really upstage the agenda by demanding the Women's Reservation Bill, having slept over it for all these years. They don't have to demand anything. All that they needed to do was to, move a motion, move the bill, and ask for it to be discussed and voted upon. You don't have to make any demands on the government that it must be passed. And if they have to make demands, and if they're saying they have so many allies, the demand should be really on its allies and say that, okay, we have the strength, we have the power, we have got India behind us, Bharat, so we will get it passed, irrespective of what the government's plans are. So that's so I think so it's still I think a $1 million question what the Prime Minister is going to do, how they're going to celebrate, whether they're going to do any of these things at all or not. It's anybody's guess. So we are following, and I think one will hopefully get to know a little more. But have you any information about the all-party meeting today? Have you heard
No,
anything on that?
nothing. Nothing really that's come out of it as so far. Uh, but Professor, like we were discussing, GST was quite a significant session, and that was in 2017. That was the first session under Prime Minister Modi. That was a special session that was called. This is the first one after his re-election in 2019. So it is significant as well.
Right.
And it's so close to the general election also, as pretty much the countdown for the general election is beginning. I don't know if you all have been getting calls, but I've been getting calls of address verification for the electoral rolls. So maybe
Got it.
Haryana, so we have an assembly
Okay.
and a general election, but it's definitely countdown has started.
Okay. Two things. With respect to the GST was there on the agenda for a long period of time. Several governments, both BJP and non-BJP, were working on it. It was there for years on end. The BJP brought it to a conclusion. They were dancing but never advancing, and they finally decided to implement it. So they called it particular special session, and they had it passed. Of course, it had also had to pass through the more than 50% of the state legislatures. There was nothing secretive or confidential about the GST. This is different. I mean, this special session has been called. We don't know why, and this government doesn't leak. And that is a serious problem for those who are sitting outside. What to comment on? Look, as Sandeep said, these opposition figures have been trying to anticipate and then say, look, this is what we will demand, and therefore, if you place the women's reservation bill, we will steal the thunder because you've claimed it. If the government decides to do so, rest assured the claim or the credit will go entirely to the government. A tweet on Twitter or social media does anticipating the government's mood does not make it your achievement. But the fact is, we don't know. Now, see, there could be the other possibility. It is quite possible that what was to be placed before the winter session of Parliament may be placed now, and we may have early elections. Because so that we basically beat the EC's or the election commission's restrictions of whatever you can do before election arrives. So we don't know. There are a slew of things that the government would like to pass, no doubt about it. But the fact is, the government is notoriously tight-lipped about these particular things. And I think while we may speculate and derive a lot of pleasure out of it, I don't think anybody really knows what's on the government's mind.
And
That's true.
go ahead, Sandeep.
No, I was saying that, at the same time, I don't think this can be a non-event. It cannot end at a damn script because I do think the government needs some big bang news before they go in for the assembly elections. All is not rosy for BJP either in Madhya Pradesh or in Rajasthan.
Oh dear.
Rahul, how much do you think this has to do with the upcoming assembly elections?
Mute. Rahul, you're on mute.
See, what I
So the
believe
government
Amrita,
would-
here is that government.
I will sign
and the
off.
center-
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
for
Because
joining
bad
us,
signal.
birthday boy.
I was waiting for Pallavi, but she, as usual, is late
No,
because she
she'll be here
promised
any
to.
minute, actually.
Okay, then I'll wait for her to sing. She said
Oh
that she's
dear.
practiced here. Okay. But
Okay.
as I said, if I got cut off, I think all's not rosy for BJP right now in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. And they would
Actually, Madhya
need
Pradesh
some.
is going quite strong, Sandeep. I disagree with you there. Madhya Pradesh, they're on steady ground.
Anyway, there can be views,
Discuss
but
that more later. Yeah.
yeah. So all the best. Let's hope that next week is as eventful and as we would like it to be, and we are all pleasantly surprised, so that we have some very interesting impromptu Sunday clubs to celebrate the Prime Minister and some lesser mortals' birthday week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Bye. Happy birthday once
Bye.
again.
Thank.
Haji.
So,
Go ahead,
तो मैं
Rahul.
ये हाँ मैं यही कह रहा था कि मुझे लगता है कि स्टेट असेंबली इलेक्शंस आर नेवर अ बिग कंसर्न फॉर द पार्टी बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट, स्पेशली व्हेन लोकसभा इलेक्शंस आर जस्ट 6 months away. Last time also they lost all three state elections, and after that they won with a bang in Lok Sabha. So that does not matter beyond a point. Plus, parliamentary proceedings having an impact on state elections at that level, I think it's not a possibility at right now. If the government has to do something big bang like that, they will prefer to do it in the winter session or probably in the budget session, so that its impact is reflected on the Lok Sabha elections. So, और दूसरा ये जो असेंबली इलेक्शंस, लोकसभा इलेक्शंस प्रीपोन करने वाला, everyone has been saying, many people have been saying, तो वो तो honestly I always say as a joke, but I would like to say it here also, that here we have a prime minister who didn't resign from the post of Gujarat chief minister until he got a letter from the president that he is now been appointed as prime minister. So he will not resign even one day before his tenure. Let us be very sure about that. He will not even spare one day in his actual tenure. So let's not at all think that he will prepone elections or something like that.
But why is there this? And before I get to that question, everybody, please, if you're enjoying the stream, do like, share, and subscribe. I always forget to say that. So I just want to say it now. Please go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Help us with the algorithm. A lot of people say they are not getting notifications for the show. I don't know why that's happening. But if that's happening to you, then please, I would request you to please share the show and really let more people know about it. But coming back, Professor, why is there this talk that the winter session is going to be abridged? It's going to be short. Why is that being said?
Look, so many things are being said about this particular government. You cannot predict what they're going to do. But let us face it. I mean, I agree with what Rahul said in a sense that the Prime Minister doesn't really bother what he does or says, what impact it has on state elections. He has taken very high risk moves, high risk strategies apparently without any concern as to how it would affect the electorate. If he felt that something needed to be done, he's gone ahead and done it. So talk about abridging the winter session of parliament only makes sense if he decides to prepone elections. Look, I mean, there is thing talking about one nation, one election. That is quite some time off, because the committee on that has, I think, going to meet, and that will require a major amendment of the constitution to which possibly states will also have to agree. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
So the question is, one election, one nation, one election. This cannot be it. I don't think this is going to be the agenda before Parliament or anything or something of this sort, which is going to abridge the winter session. I think we'll have to wait and see. I just think we'll have to wait and see. My problem is the following. You see, if you want to win the elections or you want to announce a SOP, at this point in time, I do not think there is any major financial SOP that the government can give to the nation. In any cases, SOPs are given just before the elections, not this much before the elections, unless, of course, you.
Professor's gone now. And Pallavi, you're here. Good timing, because we're all really playing the guessing game over here. We're trying to figure out why there is a special session and what are the different things that people are saying, including the Congress kind of coming out and saying, what about the women's reservation bill, which they've really not brought up in forever. So just to get a sense from you, because you talk to everybody and you move around quite a bit. We know you move around quite a bit. We've seen you. So what do you think, Pallavi? What is the buzz? What is the gupshup? Like what do they think is going to happen?
Really, nobody knows. I think there could be a surprise which comes up, and it could just be anybody's guess. Because just the other day, I was meeting someone in the government, and they told me that even the women's reservation bill, the way it exists in the present form, may not be acceptable to many within the BJP also. So if they do bring it up, they would want to bring their own bill, not the one which has been passed in Rajya Sabha. I'll just have to take this quick call in 5 minutes, but I'll just join it. But it may not be able to take the way it is now. So they may bring up, the other interesting thing I was told is that maybe they are going to bring about a bill which increases the reservation for, say, the
OBCs.
OBCs, and that is something. It's already less than 50%. You make it a little bit more, and then what happens is that this is something which no one really will have a problem with. I'm just going to join you back in 5 minutes. There's an important call which is coming in from one of the parties.
Okay, sure. Rahul, what do you think of this? Because even I've read this. Do you think that the OBC increase in OBC reservation is something that they would do?
I really don't believe it beyond a point, because this government has not been very, they have been empowering OBCs and other unprivileged classes, but beyond a point, they are not very interested in kind of disturbing the reservation apparatus. So I really do not think, like the government's position always has been like that they want to continue with the 50% cap in the reservations, except that 10% of the economically unprivileged people. So I really don't think, and it will not be a very good signal also beyond politics, that the government takes a decision to increase the reservation cap. What I think that still there can be some surprise element in the government's agenda, which will surely, like what Jairam Ramesh had said that day. I think Jairam Ramesh anticipates BJP better than many people in the party also, that there is something there in the government's bag that they will bring on the last day. So that can anyway be done any day. In the CRPC IPC Act also, the government brought that agenda on the day itself, and nobody knew it before that. In the 370 thing, the agenda came at 11 a.m. at least in the very last. So it's like very common if the government wants to bring in something surprising. And seeing the history of this government, it's not like something which is very uncommon also.
Professor Pallavi, before she had to go take an urgent call, she'll be back soon, said that there has been chatter about increasing the OBC reservations. What do you make of that?
Look, I think increasing OBC reservations as of now doesn't make sense. Look, I mean, in the social media space, with respect to certain states, there could be some hue and cry over it, especially movements in Maharashtra. But I think where the rest of the country is concerned, there is no great demand from the OBCs to increase the quantum of reservation, really. So I'm not too sure where this is actually coming from. I'm not too sure what it actually serves. So when a numerical preponderance section is not making this particular demand, and giving this particular reservation has a tendency to alienate a pretty strong support base of the government, it would be a foolish thing to do. In any case, these are things that can be announced. You don't require a parliament session for them. You can announce it, and when parliament meets, you can basically have it passed. So if this is the big bang you are planning before, and you're calling a special session of parliament, you're keeping entirely secret, I don't think the effort and the benefit in a sense are commensurate. Now, there are certain things I would like to see. For example, a bill freeing temples from government control. And I would like to see something more concrete. You free them from government control, and then what? That is something I think that would basically throw a spanner in the works, queer the pitch enormously. But if I have read the government and the activities of the various state governments, unfortunately, this is one area I don't think where any government really wants a change. So I'm not too sure whether this session is being called to increase OBC reservation. I would be very, very surprised if this was the case actually, given the fact that there is no background demand for it.
Yeah, I think, temple control reminds me of the Sanatan Dharma statement that Stalin's son, Udayanidhi Stalin, made, and the way it's sort of fired up people across the country. And the Congress has not come out with a decisive rebuttal of that, which is I think hugely problematic, being that they are the principal national party in the country, and in fact people like Karthi Chidambaram and all have defended it. Rahul, what are you making of this? This. Do you think that protest is also going to echo in Parliament?
Certainly, certainly. Also, after seeing what the Prime Minister has taken a position on it, like very clearly in the meeting of the parliamentarians, plus in the public meeting in Madhya Pradesh, it is very evident that the government will take a strong stand on it. And I was just listening to Nirmala ji's answer to a question of a similar type in Tamil Nadu. He was speaking in Tamil, but she was speaking in Tamil, but I heard the English translation of it, and she was like very unequivocal on what Udaynidhi said about Sanatan Dharma. And she even mentioned about the killing of the tailor in Udaipur. I'm not remembering the name of the person. And she was like very, very clear on her speech. So I believe the government will take a stern stand on it. The party will take a stern stand on it in the parliament in this session. And it will not be surprising for me if there is a debate on that topic as well.
As
One
there
thing
should
that
be.
see, one thing is basically, I'm surprised at the Congress ineptness over Udaynidhi's statement. Look,
Yeah.
the Congress cannot criticize the DMK because the Congress fortunes depends on the DMK in Tamil Nadu, and as you know, of the 52 seats that the Congress right now has, the bulk basically comes from Tamil Nadu. So they're not going to alienate the DMK. Having said that, there was still enough scope to finish this particular issue. That we don't agree with the DMK, we condemn this statement, but the fact is there's caste system in the Hindu religion, etc., etc. So you basically come out with a number of statements which basically pleases both sides, and water basically goes away. The wave just simply passes over you. But the ineptness of this particular Congress party has been such that some people, Karti Chidambaram, have spoken out of turn, while the others have not made themselves very, very clear. And this could hurt them in the polls that will be, the three states that will be going to the polls. It could hurt them very, very badly. You never know. That is why I'm absolutely surprised at the complete inept nature of the Congress spokesman when dealing with this particular issue. Actually, I'm very, very surprised as to how they just, let the BJP hammer them on this particular issue. Although the real hammering from the BJP has not yet come, I believe.
Has not even
Also, just
started, I
today,
think. It's not even
just
started.
today
Yeah.
only, I saw the Congress giving tributes to Periyar. Mallikarjun Kharge giving tributes to Periyar. मतलब I just do not understand how these guys are operating. क्या खाकर ये लोग सुबह शुरू करते हैं काम करना? That they don't realize that they can very well ignore it for once. But I
Yeah.
believe that they want to raise this issue. They believe that their agenda, their voter base is getting affected, and they'll be happy if they speak about everything. And if this is the situation, then I believe it's really unfortunate, plus it's really stupid on the part of the Congress. As much
Absolutely.
I understand the situation in the country and the mindset of the people in the country.
And
By the way,
why would it be so hard for them to come out and condemn hate speech? This is what it was. What Udaynidhi Stalin was doing was not, extrapolating on the evils of the caste system. He was basically saying eradicate Sanatan Dharma. How is that
no.
not hate speech?
Look, it is hate speech. The fact is, if you call out hate speech in this case, you basically ruin yourself in Tamil Nadu, and your prospects in the rest of the country aren't that bright anyway, despite what people say about the three states going to the elections. So they want to consolidate what they already have, protect what already have. Now, the accent should have been to basically finish this issue in the other areas. That they have not done so points out to an ineptness. It is hate speech, but then I could have, portrayed this in such a manner that it wouldn't look like hate speech. It would look like, a Periyarist subaltern movement trying to speak up against Brahmanism. We know that this is not the case. We know about Periyar's comments about Tamil, how pejorative they were. We know about Periyar's comments about Dalits, how pejorative they were. But as a politician, there are times when you have to basically give a spin on this so that people don't make out. The status of the Congress is such, the state of the Congress is such that basically they are not being able to say such a thing at all. It's like, rabbits caught in the glare of bright lights. They just can't move. Even in Andhra
No, but
Pradesh, you had a person like Pavan Kalyan basically starting saying things. He said, it's people are saying lots of things about Hinduism, not about other religions, and he said, this cannot go on. So even a guy like Pavan Kalyan has been forced to come out against this particular statement. But the Congress is in a state of paralysis. And I think so is Advaita. But Rahul, tell me one thing. आप unmute करिए अपने आप को.
जी.
Yeah, how is it? I mean, how is it playing out in the Hindi belt, etc.? This particular statement have people realized that Udayanithi has actually said such a thing? लोगों को पता है?
पता तो है प्रोफेसर, लेकिन मुझे क्या लगता है कि बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट इट्स नाउ अ वेरी एक्सेप्टेड काइंड ऑफ अ नोशन इन द माइंड्स ऑफ पीपल दैट कांग्रेस इज लाइक दिस ओनली. तो मुझे लगता है कांग्रेस हैज आल्सो एक्सेप्टेड दैट हमारा यहाँ पर बहुत स्कोप नहीं है, तो हमारा जहाँ स्कोप है हमको वहीं ट्राई करना चाहिए. तो दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन तेलंगाना, दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन केरला, दे आर काइंड ऑफ फोकसिंग ऑन तमिलनाडु, जहाँ पर अगर डीएमके अगर अच्छा परफॉर्म ना करे तो कांग्रेस की एक भी सीट नहीं आती. वी हैव सीन इट इन 2014 आल्सो. But I think the Congress has given up on the North almost, except that there are some
Rahul,
regional satraps like Ashok Gehlot, whom they trust, and who in themselves don't trust the Congress, but the Congress trusts them to bring the state back to them. Like Bhupesh Baghel doesn't give importance to the national leadership. Ashok Gehlot gives a shit about national leadership. But that's what the Congress is all about these days. Sukhwinder Sukhu went to the G20 dinner despite clear diktats from the leadership that nobody needs to go there. So the regional satraps are doing on their own. But still the Congress as a national party does not believe these days that they have some say in North, or they have some scope in the North. So they are, I think, they are just letting it be like that. लोगों को तो अब ये लगता है कि कांग्रेस ऐसी हो चुकी है. Congress is like that only, that they do not
but
love
Rahul,
those beyond the point.
Rahul, I understand that in UP that is the case. But in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh, they are either in power or they're the government in waiting. In such states, for them to ignore these particular statements, I think is foolish. I think is very, very foolish.
मैं तो आपको शुरू में ही कह रहा हूँ कि they are just acting stupid, and I don't understand why. बिकॉज मुझे लगता है कि ये एक अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट एनालिसिस है, जहां पर उनको लग रहा है कि अपॉर्चुनिटी बियॉन्ड द विंध्या ज्यादा है उनके लिए, और वहां पर ये सब चल जाएगा. जहां सिद्धारमैया तिलक नहीं लगाएगा तो इट विल बी गुड, एंड उदयनिधि के सपोर्ट में अगर कार्ति चिदम्बरम बोलेगा तो इट विल बी गुड. तो उनको लगता है कि वैसे ही हम काम चला लेंगे कि वायनाड से जीत जाएगा, एक चिकमंगलूर से जीत जाएगा हमारे खानदान का, एंड वील बी हैप्पी. तो बिकॉज मुझे तो नहीं लगता कि
But Rahul, I have a question. Abhi MP में they were supposed to have, the India bloc was supposed to have a big rally, which called off. Now I find that very significant because it's clear. I mean, this has been a BJP state.
I think Kamal Nath took a stand on that. I believe Kamal Nath took a stand on that, and he said कि भैया हम लोग तो प्रो हिंदुत्व लोग हैं, हम लोग अपनी राजनीति यहाँ पे प्रो हिंदुत्व करते हैं, तुम इन सबको लेके आओगे, हमको दिक्कत होगी, हमको नहीं बुलाना है. Kamal Nath must have taken a stand on that.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. But who's going to buy this kind of divided thing? Your friends in West Bengal with TMC. I mean, in the center, but you're at their throats in West Bengal. Same thing with the communists in Kerala, but you're great friends in the center. Your people are supporting Udayanithi Stalin and his eradicate, dharma, Sanatan Dharma, and his hate speech in Tamil Nadu. But in in Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath is saying we are Hindutva politicians here. It's absurd.
तो जी मुझे इसमें ये भी लगता है कि we should actually stop seeing them as a unit. They are not a unit. This alliance is not a unit. In every state they have their problems. In every state they have their issues. like अभी ये जो बाय इलेक्शंस हुए, I was seeing the results. So those who are pro Congress or those who are pro kind of this particular alliance, they were saying कि four India alliance has won 4 seats and the BJP alliance has won 3 seats. But तृणमूल ने किसको हराया बंगाल में? मतलब
सीपीएम को भी हराया।
this is stupid. If you are saying केरला में किसको हराया, किसने हराया? कांग्रेस ने किसको हराया केरला में? अपने अलायंस पार्टनर को। तृणमूल ने किसको हराया? अपने अलायंस पार्टनर को। How was it India alliance? Like this is not a unit. They are trying to create a facade around them that they are acting as a unit. और उसमें क्या कर रहे हैं? सबसे easy targets ले रहे हैं। मतलब your target is not Narendra Modi, your target is Amish Devgan. So it tells about you.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
your target
By
is
the
not
way,
Narendra Modi, but Shiv Arur or Gaurav Sawant, then it speaks about you, not them.
And this whole thing, which brings, when you brought this up interestingly, is that Nitish Kumar has come out and said unequivocally that we are not against anybody. And already, on core issues, you're seeing that, they are not able to come together and have a united voice.
So I was seeing a very good poster on internet 2 days back. I'm sure you must have seen it also, where there was a vector image of Indira Gandhi on one side and a vector image of Rahul Gandhi on one side, and one side it was written that ban media, and other side it was one side it was ban media, and otherwise like ignore media or boycott media. So it was very popular on social media in last 2 days. I think you must have seen that. Some handle called Grey Orange tweeted that, and it was everywhere. So this particular thing which the Congress has done about boycotting this journalist has actually reinforced their image of being anti-democracy or anti-freedom of expression, and it's very, very evident. Very evident. Everyone is saying that. Like the bias of Ravish Kumar and the bias of so-called bias of सुधीर चौधरी और गौरव सावंत, उनका कोई कंपैरिजन ही नहीं है। अगर कोई बायस है भी अमीश देवगन का या गौरव सावंत का, तो इट हैज नो कंपैरिजन विद द बायस ऑफ सुधीर चौधरी ऑफ रवीश कुमार। रवीश कुमार के घर में अगर पानी नहीं आता तो भी वो गजेंद्र सिंह शेखावत को ब्लेम कर देता है। मतलब ही हैज गॉन टू द लेवल ऑफ इंसेनिटी। देयर इज नो ऑब्जेक्टिविटी इन दैट। So when you are doing this kind of stuff, then you are actually making a mockery of your own views, your own things. So, मैं फिर वही बात कहूंगा इसलिए because Congress is now acting stupid beyond a point. मुझे लगता है कि उनके पास जो आर्सेनल था वो खत्म हो गया, तो अब उनको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि अगले 6 महीने हम सस्टेन कैसे करेंगे। मुझे याद है कि एक बहुत ग्लोरीफाइड एमपी हैं, उन्होंने मुझे 2013 में सितंबर में कहा था, वो बीजेपी में ही है ऑनेस्टली, लेकिन उन्होंने मुझे 2013 में कहा था कि सी मोदी हैज ऑलरेडी पीक्ड एंड फ्रॉम हियर ही विल ओनली गो डाउन।
अच्छा,
क्योंकि मोदी का सारा हथियार खत्म हो चुके हैं, अब मोदी के पास नया बचाने को कुछ है नहीं। मुझे लगता है कांग्रेस की आज वही स्थिति है कि कांग्रेस ने यात्रा वात्रा सब कर ली, अब सोच रहे हैं कि अगले 6 महीने हम क्या करें। तो दे हैव डूइंग ऑल दिस स्टूपिड स्टफ एवरीवेयर।
Rahul, I think it is also more than stupidity. It is stupidity combined with arrogance. If you look at many of the constituents of the India alliance, their relations with the press are far better than the Congress's relations with the press. You look at the Congress's spokespersons, people like Srinathe, and you look like people like Pawan Khera, they are obnoxious on media. Whereas, surprisingly, the Samajwadi Party have some people who are actually pretty okay on media. So their relationship with media and media persons are far better than the relationship of certain Congress spokespersons with their media persons. Now, what the Congress wants, it is their relationships with the media persons that should basically be drive policy when it comes to the entire alliances, which is stupid. I mean, let us face it. The Janata Dal United, when it sends some spokesman on the media, he is better received, he is more articulate generally, and he is far more accommodating than the Congress person. The Congress's momentum of its past prestige and the arrogance, in a sense, has remained. which is not the
Yeah.
case for many of the smaller parties. Now you expect the smaller parties to toe your line because you cannot figure out the new media. It is your problem. And that is why, from day one, the constituents of the Indie Alliance are not sticking to this agreement. They are sending people and they're also saying on their own that we are not going to do this. So, this was, I think, stupidity on part of the Congress to actually do it. They should not have done it. You don't want to send people to some shows, don't send people to some shows. The moment you came on and you came out with this particular statement, you basically scored a self goal. And I think the constituent blocks of the Indie Alliance also realize that. And therefore, you have their leaders saying that they are against boycott of journalists. Most notably, Nitish Kumar has actually said it. So I think it's not just stupidity, it is also arrogance. At the end of the day, they believe that we are, of course, the natural leaders of this particular alliance.
Yeah, they're used to
And
being, Professor, they're used to being
absolutely,
treated a certain way by the media, in a
yes,
sense that, the smaller parties or the regional parties are not really expecting that kind of treatment. They just expect to be treated fairly,
And they're not realizing they have actually alienated people. They have alienated more people than bringing them. Like
actually.
I remember a tweet of Shiv, which he did, I believe, 4, 5, 7 years back, where he said that the left has gone so left that everyone else looks right.
Yeah.
So this is actually the state of the Congress these days. They have gone
They've become far
so
left.
much extreme in the hatred of a section of media that everyone now looks like it's on the part of the BJP or it's in the part of the other alliance. So this is their problem. The kind of arrogance that lady journalist which you named displays, or Mr. Kheda displays, or some more people display on the media. This is obnoxious. I just do not get and how they
Yeah,
use.
I actually saw one video that went viral of the female spokesperson, and it was that, like Nali ke keede, that kind of
Oh, God.
conversation about the media. Those kind of things were being said. So it was just next level. Pallavi is back. She messaged me saying that I've got some major news gossip.
Yes.
So hold on. So we're waiting, Pallavi. Break it
With
down.
bated breath.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, we were just being debriefed at what happened at the all-party meeting. So basically, there was a lot of fights. They all want the women's reservation bill to be brought in, and in fact, there was a huge fight between the TDP and the YSR over Chandrababu Naidu's arrest, and they had to be quieted down. Then things like Tiruchi Siva, DMK, he stood up to say that he tore the entire flag hoisting
Achha,
agenda.
there's a lot of static, Pallavi. Can you log out and log back in?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So
Can
let's
you
just
hear me
pick up
now?
from the. Yeah, you come out and then go back in. So just picking up on that, PDP and YSR Congress, YSR are fighting over the arrest, and they had to be calmed down. That's what I picked up.
Yeah.
But that's
But
to be expected, right?
that's to be expected. But I think the arrest of Chandrababu Naidu, I think this is a foolish thing. Doing it so close to the elections, there will be consequences, I think.
And it. Yeah. Okay, Pallavi is back. Pallavi is back. Yeah, Pallavi, go ahead.
Is this audio better?
Much better.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I tell you what happened is on 19th, that's going to be a very interesting day. 19th, they are going to have a function from 10 to 10:30. They've all been asked to come there where they're going to take a group photograph because 19th is also the day when they're going to shift to the new parliament
Shift to the
building.
new
So all
parliament,
MPs, yeah, so all MPs have been told, all MPs of all parties, please come, we'll take a group picture from 10 to 10:30, and from 11 to 11:30, there's one particular function which all of you have to attend. So everyone started asking, what's the special function? I think there's going to be a puja, like this Ganesh Chaturthi, na? To which CPI, see, government is not saying what they're going to do from 11 to 11:30. They said there's going to be a function. CPI has jumped the boat and said, listen, this belongs to all religions. Please don't do anything which is going to hurt one particular religion. So basically, I think there's going to be a puja from 11 to 11:30 because Ganesh Chaturthi hai and all that kind of stuff. And if CPI protests, then and other parties also protest. Remember, they protested over the Sengol thing and all those things. This is exactly what they're going to walk into a government's trap. So, ye kafi hangama hua.
Then the anti-Hindu front in the India alliance is going to just expand right now.
Yeah, see,
It's Stalin and his
Sanatan
DMD.
Dharm, ye.
But I do not
all this, you know.
understand. But I do not
Huh.
understand how the Hindu puja hurting other religions. Matlab, CPI saying that do not do something which hurts other religions. How the Ganesh Chaturthi puja hurting other religions? They can say
See,
that
the
they are
best-
not being included. That's fine. But how is it hurting? Like if
No,
you
the
can
best
only
part
hurt-
is like, see, parties like NCP and all can't say no, na, because Ganesh Chaturthi to unka bhi hai, and Maharashtra mein it's very important, and they're already creating a shindy about the fact कि 19th को क्यों कर रहे हो हमें अपनी constituency में, so the government will say ठीक है हम तो पूजा यहीं कर रहे हैं, और हिंदू scriptures के हिसाब से श्री गणेशाय नमः करते हैं ना, any good thing you do.
Oh.
So, see, I think the government has played it very smart. Today, they did a flag hoisting, which doesn't belong to any religion. It belongs to everyone. Last time, they made this whole choo-choo about the fact that why is the Prime Minister there and not the President is there or the Speaker was not there. This time, today, only the President, the Speaker and the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha were there. Tomorrow, the Prime Minister will speak. 19 को होगा. मुझे लगता है, because I was told by someone in the Rajya Sabha Secretariat कि हम लोग पूजा की तैयारी भी कर रहे हैं. 10-15 मिनट के लिए करेंगे तो करेंगे. Who's going to walk out? Who's going to protest? I think the Congress made a mistake talking about Sengol and all, ना. इसमें तो नहीं कर. Maharashtra parties can't, because उनके लिए तो बहुत बड़ी बात है ये. I hope we get Modak, yeah.
Modak you'll get, yeah. We won't get. Bring some for us also.
You know, the Sunil Devdar, he does a puja here in Delhi during the parliament session. Jab bhi wonderful Modak. He gets his
I go
strength
it every
from
year.
Mumbai.
I go
अरे
there every
राहुल,
year.
you go there. तो इस बार आप
Yeah.
और मैं एक साथ मोदक खाएंगे, दोनों को गोदी बुलाया जाएगा, and then I'll be in the 50th in the boycott list. I'll be a number
Can I
15.
Have you to come into
Can I
Godi?
gate crash? Can I gate crash this party?
Please. You can't
Huh?
possibly be called Godi. You're already considered Godi, Advaita. आपकी
No,
नियत
one
में,
second. No.
like
That's,
someone was telling me कि अद्वैता के नियत में खोट है. She's Godi.
I disagree
Who said that?
completely.
Someone told you that?
I disagree completely because one person who basically announced the list of the journalists to be boycotted, that particular person wanted to be on this show.
Oh God.
According
Really?
to Advaita, by the way. Yeah,
So
according
why
to
is
Advaita.
that person on the show?
Because he's an obnoxious person. We basically made it very clear he should not be on the show.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes. So
Yeah.
she certainly
They're
is
so
not
gossipy,
Godi.
yeah. You're so gossipy, I swear. Professor, God.
I have not mentioned any names.
That's why you're gossipy. You're doing blind items. What in Bollywood we call blind items. You're doing blind items on this show.
Okay. See, this is the problem. You throw Bollywood at me. Yaar. Kya kare yaar?
Well, I mean, that's my world now. Your world is academia,
Achha.
my world is.
I don't know. So Rajiv Tuli is watching Niyat. Why couldn't he join us?
He's
He could have
watching
watched
Niyat
Tuli
right
later.
now.
Yeah, that's what he wrote. He could have joined the
Okay.
person who is connected to Niyat rather than kya yaar. Where's Sandeep Ghosh?
Sandeep Ghosh was waiting
He
for you to
waited.
sing Happy Birthday and then he left. He was thinking there'll be that JFK Marilyn Monroe moment, where you'll sing Happy Birthday to Sandeep Ghosh. But we missed that legendary moment on the Sunday Club today because you were late. So, yeah,
I
I
was
guess we
getting
just have to do
masala.
it next Sunday. Yeah, this is the only masala you've given Pallavi. There's nothing else that's happening.
अरे ट्यूसडे को देखना कितना हंगामा होगा अगर पूजा हुआ तो. You just wait and watch. They will just walk into this trap.
But Pallavi, has a special call, a session of the parliament been called just for this puja thing? And we were thinking,
No.
No, but
See,
one
I
second.
think-
Before you answer, Pallavi, very quickly, I've seen Sitaram Yechuri with coming out of a mandir this last week. I don't know if that was a meme. Nowadays, it's so difficult to tell on the internet, and I don't spend that much time on Twitter.
No.
But I
He
never
was being welcomed into the India meet. There a tilak happened.
There's a
Oh,
Tilaka.
okay. Sorry, my bad.
They don't go. He
I
doesn't
don't
go
mean
to
to get
Mandir,
the
no?
comments. Yeah, okay.
The left is against all this. But the left in Kolkata don't go for pujo.
Of
The
course they do.
Bengalis. They do,
And
na?
for a long time, the Pada Durga Pujas were actually organized by people who belonged to the left. Except for this, Durga Puja in Bengal, at least in Calcutta, is not seen so much as a religious function, it's seen as a social function actually. Okay,
Cultural.
you have the,
Like
yeah,
Onam,
culture. You have,
like Onam in
like,
Kerala.
But guys, Shantiniketan has entered the World Heritage List of UNESCO. Dipankar, please, big moment for us Bengalis.
is it?
Of course, that's the news right
Okay.
now. How can you people
Yeah,
miss that?
yeah,
Shameful,
I didn't miss
Dipankar.
it. I didn't miss it, yeah.
It just came an hour back. And of course, Trinamool Congress is taking credit. BJP is the Prime Minister is the Chancellor of the university, by the way.
Yes. It's a central university.
Yeah.
And the person who's the vice chancellor is now one of the most hated persons in Bengal.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Dr.
that?
Chakravarti, I believe.
Professor Biddu Chakraborty, he is a professor of political science from Delhi University, who's currently.
Why is he hated? Why is he hated?
Look, I mean,
He has taken on
Shanti
Amartya Sen
Niketan.
also.
Amartya Sen
Niketan
ko
was-
hata diya na wahan se.
Shanti Niketan was an administrative chaos. Administrative chaos, financial chaos. The land of Shanti Niketan had been taken over. Much of the land had been, actually encroached upon by so many people. He's trying to put the house in order. And, when you try to put the house in order, privileged persons also have to be told, that their sense of entitlement is just that, a sense of entitlement. Khali karo. And when he did that, you basically had a lot of people going ballistic. I mean, poor fellow has been given a bad name for implementing rules and regulations. That is his problem, nothing else. And
Same
therefore,
happened with Professor Jagdish Kumar in JNU.
Yeah.
no, I would not entirely agree with that. I think, there were problems. People who opposed Jagdish Kumar also had problems. The manner in which Professor Jagdish Kumar functioned also was problematic. Look, and that is why the new incumbent, Professor Shanti Shri, has been administering JNU for over a year now, and it has been all hunky-dory. She does not take nonsense from anybody. See, the question is, how do you handle a place like JNU? There are ways you implement rules and regulations in a manner, velvet glove. You do what needs to be done, but in a manner that does not give offense. And because Professor Shanti Shri is a former JNU alumni herself, she understands, and she's from SIS, by the way. She's a PhD from SIS, Pallavi.
I was
Okay, one
also
of
from
us.
SIS.
So am I. So
Oh, from JNU,
Oh, really?
Pallavi?
Yeah.
Oh, from
But Professor Sengupta, which school were you in? I mean, which studies in SIS?
International Trade and Development Division, ITD.
ITD, okay. That's Satish Singh
No,
or something, right?
Yeah, okay, he was part of that center. It's basically Ashok Guha, Professor Ashok Guha.
I was in African studies.
Okay, but
African
one
studies.
minute, guys. A quick question: is it true that Kanwal Sibal is being picked for?
Yes, I heard. I was
Yes,
just
yes.
going to tell you that.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Chancellor of
So
He has
he-
actually
so
been
he-
appointed, no? Already
Kapil
appointed.
Sibal ka bhai.
Yeah.
He's
But
been
the
appointed.
Yeah, he's been appointed. Chancellor is an honorific post, basically. In central universities, the power to appoint the vice chancellor is with the president, the visitor of the university. The chancellor hierarchically is above the vice chancellor. He presides over convocations. He can call for inquiries, etc. But he does not have much by way of executive powers. But it is an enormous honor, and I think Kanwal Sibal is an appropriate person for him, given his gravitas
And there
and
is-
his background and his career.
There is not
I
even
agree.
thread of Kapil in Kanwal Sibal.
Oh, there is not a iota of Kapil in Kanwal. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that.
No,
Agree
that's
with
like Vibhuti Jha and Sanjay Jha, no? They're like
Yeah.
his brothers, which are like completely on the
Or
opposite side.
to a smaller extent, Tehseen versus Shehzad.
No, both are fun. Yeah. But yeah, Vibhuti Jha and Sanjay Jha are brothers?
Yeah.
Real brothers.
Vibhuti came on one of our shows also.
I
Nahi,
know.
Advaita ke show pe.
In fact, I
They
got
look so much alike.
No, but in fact, I got Vibhuti Jha's number from Sanjay Jha because I said,
Oh God.
Oh dear.
yeah, but on the other hand, so Pallavi, next 4 days before you joined us, Rahul said it's quite likely that something might be pulled out of the hat on the last day. You have
I think
earmarked
so.
19th for us, but should we then be looking at 19th as well as the last day, which is I think the 22nd,
I
right?
I think 18th and 19th, they are basically going to discuss the 75 years of democracy.
Parliament,
They are
yeah.
left with three, yeah. So they are left with 3 more days now, 20th, 21st, 22nd. Last day, may kar sakte hain. Maybe on 21st, they decide to come out with an agenda. And that last one day, they are left with. So they'll try and ensure it gets passed. For example, if they come out with this kind of a bill, which is based on Venkata Chalayya's commission, which increases the OBC reservation, and a little bit of women also who fall in and all that. I think there could be those subcaste reservation. Even if they do it on 22nd, who's going to
What
oppose
about
it?
what about UCC?
Wasn't
Any
Venkatachalaya commission about
See?
the constitution?
Amendments. And among the constitutional review, many of these points were there about reservation
क्योंकि
increase, so on and so
वैसे तो वो
forth.
रोहिणी
If-
commission वाला report is also pending, no? They have also
Yeah,
presented
Rohini
their
Commission.
report.
Yeah, and also apparently, I don't know what, but 600 copies have been printed of this commission's report and they have been kept there. So it's very difficult, yaar. कोई बोलता नहीं है, yaar. Only PM knows, and I think Amit Shah
What about
knows, but they don't tell
UCC?
us.
What about uniform
UCC
civil
is difficult now because UCC mein even the BJP has a problem with. Now, for example, the tribal areas, northeast, they have a problem. The Hindu walas also have a problem now. They don't want that Hindu property rights to go to women and all that. I would think the women reservation bill would be a great one to do, but I don't know. Let's see.
and Rohini Commission? Someone is asking. Biswajit is saying Rohini Commission.
So Rohini Commission comes out of the Venkatachalaya thing, and it was never implemented, but it has some very interesting takes. For example, like the Prime Minister's Vishwakarma Divas today, you have a little separation in the name of, say, an ironsmith or dhobi, unke naam se, profession-wise. You increase the total tally, but these are very powerful OBC ones. You send out a very strong message also, no? And no party in the northern Hindi belt can object to it. The caste census and all of these people have been asking for, no party can object to it. Neither the Congress, nor the RJD, JDU, none of them. By the way, the gossip is that on Wednesday or Thursday, there may be halchal in Bihar. Have you noticed? Faltu Ram again. Have you noticed on this on this boycott of the crazy?
Not again.
Oh, yes.
So on these 14 anchors who were boycotted, Nitish Kumar said, I don't agree with the boycott.
And
He said on
Lalan Singh
record.
didn't go to the committee meeting also, no? Lalan Singh didn't go to the
He
committee
didn't.
meeting.
I did a story on this. I can't take names, but there are people in the Congress also who think it's not a great idea. They feel कि boycott करना था तो ऐसे ही कर लो. You don't have to structure it. You don't have to mention it, like we are boycotting so and so. You can just say we boycott. Some people felt that why boycott anchors? It doesn't make sense. Boycott a channel.
That would be even more foolish, actually.
दोनों foolish है. मुझे लगता है किसी even the BJP boycotted NTV TV at one point of time. I don't think it makes sense. It
Mahua
shouldn't have been done.
Moitra tweeted saying that this is step one. The next step is that
The money thing.
with the
So
money
there is
and
no agreement on
where it
that is what
cuts and all of
TMC
that.
wants. That's what TMC and AAP want, but not everyone is agreeing to it. They feel that's stretching it a bit too far. इतना भी confrontation नहीं करना है.
So you're saying there will be
अच्छा,
some
पैसा
halchal
तो
in
आम आदमी पार्टी देती है channels to their ads and all.
Yeah.
Most money is anyway given by Aam Aadmi Party only to channels.
पंजाब में तो बड़ा channels only run on that.
That was the other thing. This is Bhagwat Mann put his foot down and said, I'm not going to give any seats to Congress in Punjab.
अरे CWC meeting में भी
And Kejriwal was just like gobsmacked, like what the hell?
No.
He started
At the CWC meeting, I did this story also. Yesterday and today also, they made the point where they asked this question, Bakar and Pratap Bajwa, You say that we have to have unity alliance talks, fair enough. You want to have an alliance with AAP, fair enough. But why is Kejriwal going and campaigning in states where it's just BJP versus Congress, like in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh? And second, what do we do with Bhagwant Mann? हमारे को क्या होगा? We are futures over. Like Ajay Makan said this, Bajwa said it, Punjab leaders said it. So they are saying we'll talk to a state unit, but what is there to talk about? No, you can't. Who's going to give up seats in Delhi? 7 seats में तो I don't think even AAP may win, but you never know. But Congress का chance
Congress
बड़ा
is trying
मुश्किल है
to
ना.
regain strength in Delhi. They've appointed Lovely now, and Lovely is trying to push some fresh air into the party.
Yeah,
and now
but
if they decide to like go and surrender to the Aam Aadmi Party, they are gone forever.
But they have ना.
Yeah.
Alliance हो गया ना दिल्ली बिल पे. Ground पे यही तो message गया ना कि they are in alliance.
In my opinion, bringing AAP into the Indie alliance was, I think, foolish. Because, you see, if you look at Punjab, it is AAP versus the Congress. So the question is, AAP and Congress cannot be together, because if they are, their votes may not add up, and a third party may actually make hay when these two things. So it is best for AAP and Congress to fight each other in Punjab. See,
but you have to
nobody else will
understand
win.
that.
Yeah.
But Professor Sengupta, you have to understand, it is not the Congress alone which dictating as far as the India alliance is concerned. Na? Didi is very fond of Arvind Kejriwal. Let Arvind Kejriwal go to Bengal, parts of Bengal, and campaign, and Didi will turn against him. Abhi to he's not touching her, na?
TMC
and
is
everyone
securing the
else.
knowledge.
Yeah,
TMC
but
is securing
see,
the knowledge that Kejriwal will be able to do squat in West Bengal.
But
Look,
that doesn't matter. But point is that it was TMC plus RJD plus JDU, all of them told Congress that you have to align with AAP. So Congress alone could not decide. They were calling them, spoilers, spoil sport.
my thing is, if you know, in any election, if the Indie alliance is in the unlikely situation of being near the majority mark, they can count on AAP support. AAP is unlikely to support the BJP. So to have AAP being part of the alliance actually doesn't make sense at all. And if the RJD and the TMC have insistent on the inclusion of AAP, then it's foolish on their part, because the inclusion of AAP does not lend it any coherence at all. Actually, in crucial states.
But their calculation is.
And also,
their calculation is 14 seats in Punjab only AAP can bring, Congress can't bring. Their calculation is that 14 में से 10 at least they can bring.
But they would have anyway come to the alliance, no?
Yes.
Post elections.
AAP has nowhere else to go. After the elections, AAP is not going to join the BJP. They will go with the India alliance in any case. It doesn't matter.
But they don't want a situation. No. But see, look at people like YSR and all, Naveen Patnaik. They've stayed away. They want a commitment on paper. They want a commitment on paper कि you are a part of us, rather than आ जाएंगे, they can't go anywhere. देखो ये logic कहीं नहीं है कि no one can go nowhere. You have seen unlikely people come together. PDP and BJP came together.
Let us talk about Naveen. The manner in which Naveen was insulted by Narasimha Rao when Narasimha Rao was Prime Minister, when Naveen actually went to ask for funds, he was insulted. His proposal was actually thrown away by Manmohan Singh.
Biju Patnaik. Naveen Patnaik was not in politics.
No, Naveen Patnaik.
Please, let me tell you one thing. I agree with you. But wait. People forget that. Wait.
No, people don't.
Listen to me. I was at that lunch with Sonia Gandhi held for us in 2004. And she called DMK in front of me and all of us a killer of a husband. Today, who's an alliance of the Congress party? With the lust for power comes now, people forget everything.
Look, let's get one thing clear. In 2002, 2003 itself, the BJP had decided to ditch the DMK and go with the AIDMK. DMK had nowhere to go. So you can even give DMK Hazar Galis, nothing can be done about it.
But DMK had nowhere to go now, but Congress, how can a Sonia Gandhi, जिसको उसने अपना husband the killer बुलाया, she compromised ना? That's the point I'm making.
Can go anywhere. I think
that is
clear now.
That you can't.
No. Congress can go anywhere.
Professor Sengupta, I'm sorry. No.
Please.
No, Professor Sengupta, I'm sorry. You can't say that entirely. Who would have thought BJP would have aligned with PDP or PDP would have aligned with BJP?
Hear me out.
Any political party can go anywhere.
Okay. Now the question is, Naveen was insulted by Manmohan Singh when he went to Manmohan Singh with a proposal to get extra funds for Odisha. Manmohan Singh threw his proposal away. Later on, Sanjay Baru, put a spin around it. Pheka nahi tha, table mein drop kiya tha, वगैरह वगैरह. His proposal was thrown away. So for the Naveen to join hands with the Congress will take some doing. YSR was hounded by the Congress. YSR
Jailed.
was hounded by the Congress, thrown out of the party, jailed. So YSR has a good reason for not joining the Congress. On the other
And
hand,
TRS?
it is
TRS?
huh? Why should the
TRS?
TRS? The TRS is the government out there anyway. The TRS is the government out there anyway. Aligning with the Congress, in a sense, reduces TRS's rationale. See, the problem with AAP is the following. AAP, in a sense, has taken away the Congress's vote share. It is the Congress vote share, in a sense, that AAP actually has taken away in Delhi. In Punjab, it is slightly more complicated. But the fact is, after elections, no matter how many seats AAP wins, AAP will be forced to go with the Indie Alliance. YRS, Naveen Patnaik do not have that compulsion, and there is a previous history which actually ensures that they are not able to align with the Congress. But as Pallavi says, you never know what happens in politics. But there's a
In
momentum
politics.
of
And
yeah.
yeah, we've gone over time, so I just want to end with this last one question.
That's one last thing. Mayawati, how was she treated by Mulayam Singh Yadav?
Yeah.
But
And she
so
came back
SP
to
and
join.
BSP came
Okay,
together
yes.
now?
It is the son who basically went and made amends.
That is son one truck. Son भूल गया अपने बाप ने क्या किया, मायावती भूल गई उसके बाप ने
No,
क्या किया.
no,
पॉलिटिक्स
बिल्कुल नहीं
में
भूला.
सब हो जाता है यार.
या वक्त लगता है, वक्त लगता है.
कोई वक्त
वक्त
नहीं
लगता
लगता.
है.
People forget everything. It's
चलो
an
यार.
immediate lust for power. देख लेना.
चलो यार, चलो यार.
Wait and watch.
Okay,
There are
just
going to be
tell
very
me one
interesting
thing.
days to come.
I couldn't get myself around to like following up on this one, but Khargeji wrote a letter saying he can't come and it shouldn't be viewed as a boycott. What's that about?
Yeah,
Something
I mean, I see Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary went now. ठीक है यार.
Pramod
खड़गे नहीं
Tiwari
गया.
also
So
went.
then, so then Congress didn't boycott. No, I mean he's an 83-year-old man. We also have to understand that. Yeah, I mean थोड़ा सा.
Let's take a break sometimes. Yeah. Although I mean,
नहीं, he's the
Manisha
president of the party.
He's also 83
all,
and he's saying I'm ready to go.
the
Kharge is only 6 months older than
a
me.
53-year-old man keeps on taking breaks all the time. 83 को तो देना ही चाहिए basically थोड़ा बहुत.
How mean, yeah. It's okay. Our 53-year-old man is also taken a break to London. He's our Rahul Gandhi. You're not going to say anything to him.
He doesn't run a political party. Yeah.
Sandeep Ghosh is our Rahul Gandhi. It's actually true. Sometimes San Francisco, sometimes London.
सही
He's
में
all
यार.
over the place.
And business class fly करके he's talking to us, and then he says some shady name. He doesn't even tell us the name. I clicked a selfie with him who's a fan of Sunday Club and Advaita. Doesn't tell us who that person is. क्या बोलूं?
Okay. All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you had fun,
you.
Rahul. And we had a
Happy
good
Ganesh
Tuesday
Chaturthi
को-
to all.
time. We
Tuesday
went
को
like
करेंगे
over
ना हम.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
राहुल आप जाओगे तो मेरे को भी साथ ले जाना मोदक खाने. वैसे I
I'll
always
call
do that.
you. I'll call you.
Listen,
And
if you all
Tuesday
can
को-
take me along as a plus
Of
one.
course, we'll take you
I'll
along.
also be happy
And also
to go for the-
Tuesday ko, if there is puja and hangama over puja, you should do another show.
Yeah. No, today we had a good turnout. We had 1,200 plus watching us live, so that's really cool.
Wow.
And
Not bad.
so thanks everybody, and see you all soon. And remember to like, share, do subscribe to the channel because I want to hit 50,000 in the next 1 month. Let's do this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
We'll tell all our
that-
friends to.
See, then I get that silver play button. Yeah.
Arey, come on, yeah. Let's use all our contacts to make them subscribe.
Let's make it happen.
चलो.
I'll tell Sandeep
Chalo,
Ghosh
okay.
London में बैठ के ना, he'll tell everyone to join. Okay, bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Good night. Take care. Bye. Have a great week.